Hello my beautiful people. So as you can see, different layout yet again. I feel like there's been so many changes recently. The reason I'm doing things differently this week is because it needs to be relevant, right? I believe that we incarnate when and where we choose to incarnate, because we understand that that time, that moment in time, the people that we're born to, that we interact with, that we come into contact with, are going to provide the right conditions and impetus for us to take the journey that our soul truly wants and needs to take. If you were born at this time, and it's an unprecedented time for a lot of people, if you were born at this time, you will be, or you're here at this time, should I say, you're here for a reason to experience this in some way, shape or form. This means that your soul signed up for this. And in order to keep it relevant, I want to help people understand, what is it that your soul is trying to learn right now? A lot of people are being forced to take stock, to stand still. The old contracts, the old world, the old spiritual contracts, it's all breaking down in favor for something new that is coming through now, for a new way of being, a new way of understanding, a new sense of connection. New connections are about to be forged. New ways of doing everything are about to be forged. So, the fact that a lot of us are either sort of on lockdown or having to stay still, having to take a moment. I talked about this in my daily email, if you get it, if you're on my list. And what I talked about was this moment where so many people are being forced to stop, to put their feet on the ground and say, right, okay, what do I think about this? What do I really feel is the next step for me? Why is it that this is taking place? What is my soul trying to learn? And I kind of see this time, when a planet goes retrograde, it sort of takes its journey and then it slows down. And then as it slows down, it starts to come to a stop, and it stations, and then its energy is magnified. What happens under a retrograde, backward, looking back, going over, reassessing, reevaluating, redoing, lots of rewords, rediscovery, remembering, bringing things from the past back for examination to be looked at, re-examining things, right? All of these words are what happen when a planet retrogrades. Well, then it kind of stops and tracks backwards, so we go back over that energy, and then it stops and it stations again, and then it starts to move forward again, and it kind of picks up speed and goes on its merry way. Well, if you think about it, the human race at the moment is kind of being forced into its very own retrograde. So rather than seeking out there or looking out there, this is a time to go within. What is your soul trying to learn? What is it that you are releasing at this moment in time? And what is it that you are welcoming in as a result of all of this that's taking place on this sort of deeper level? If you haven't seen it, I did a series recently on the spring equinox for the different different elements of the zodiac. Check that out. It's on a playlist, and you can find that on the channel. Just hit the playlist button and you'll be able to find it. With that said, this is kind of a mini blurb to explain why the different format, what it kind of means, how it's going to shape up for you. I haven't stuck to the usual format because I don't feel like it's relevant at the moment. I feel like this is the stuff that is kind of more relevant for us, and will probably be more relevant for us over the course of the next week. So let me know, do you love it? Do you loathe it? And with that said, you are heading into your personal taroscope for the week ahead. Take care, love you much, and I'll see you soon. Hi Leo, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. So my ascendant brothers and sisters, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help us on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for us. They're all jumping out at me. So you've seen the blurb, I assume. Just to explain why I'm doing things a bit differently. This is, we're in unprecedented times, as the saying goes at this moment. So, sorry, my cards keep jumping out at me, so I'm gonna bend them a little bit. All right, so what is our soul trying to learn this week? The Three of Cups. What we're trying to learn at this moment in time is something that Leo knows a lot about, but maybe, just maybe, not in the ways that we used to know. Maybe not. This is about getting back to, what is it that you used to love? What is it that you used to really enjoy? What is it that you used to do just for the sheer joy of it? The Three of Cups is what our soul is trying to learn this week. Enjoyment, fun, spontaneity, moments that reconnect you to your soul, moments that are pure spontaneous joy, moments that come from within. What you're trying to learn this week, Leo, is how to bring the party to wherever it is that you are. And I understand the current world climate is really serious, right? Everything is kind of up in the air, and it's scary, and it's we're in unprecedented times, as we keep hearing, and we can see that across the board. But what are the small ways that you can inject joy into your life, whether that is singing, whether it's dancing, whether it is connecting with people, doing that? There's that, I saw something the other day, people are doing online karaoke where they're singing with each other, which I just thought was absolutely brilliant. Your soul this week is trying to learn how to remember the good times and how to bring the party to wherever you're at, even if that's just in your flat, in your house, in your bedsit, like wherever you are. How do you bring good times to yourself? How do you bring good times to your not even just to yourself, but to wherever it is that you're at? How do you open up your soul to allow happiness and enjoyment and joy in? This is what you're learning this week, and you're learning how to do it without having much to connect with, right? This is about learning to find this within yourself without having to look outside of yourself for it. So what we're releasing, the Five of Cups. Okay, so interesting, because we're going up the scale with the cups now. So in terms of what you're releasing, guilt, doubt, fear, grief, sadness, the feeling of loss, the feeling of being afraid. These are the things that we're supposed to release this week. This is what we're supposed to let go of. The Five of Cups can very often be about crying over spilt milk and not understanding that actually this is about asking yourself, and it's about releasing those moments of, oh, you know what, I don't have this, or I haven't got that, and actually get out of this, release this, let this go, and be here, right? Get back to this sort of childlike wonder of, what happened between, I laugh about this all the time, probably showing my age here as well. I remember the days I used to have to walk to my friend's house to see if they were home, so to see if they were coming out. There was none of this, let me send them a text and we'll meet up here. You had to go there, and if they weren't in, you went trawling over the streets to all your little hangouts to see which one they were at. I remember playing without any sort of technology and making my own fun, making my own, all of that sort of stuff. And I'm relatively young, right? So reconnect to that stuff. And this week, release this idea that you are in lack, that something is gone away, that you haven't got what you need. Let go of that. Release that this week. And then finally, what we're welcoming in is the Six of Swords, this understanding that we're moving in and towards better times. But ultimately, this is about really choosing to welcome in this idea that eventually, when the freedom to do what we want to do comes back, when we are no longer on lockdown and all of the rest of this, this is about remembering what you've released, remembering what you've managed to regain or get control of or bring back into your life on an internal level, and really making that dedication, whether this is to travel more, whether it's to see the world. This is about you saying to yourself, you know what, I said that this time, when everything started to move forward again, I would start to live life, and I would start to live life to the full. This is about honoring that promise. You need to welcome this energy in now so that when the time comes, you can just do it. You know, it's not what concerns me is that I feel like a lot of people are just going to be like, oh, once it's over, it's like back to the normal grind. It's not going to be that. There's too much change in the air taking place right now. So it's really important to be ahead of that curve. The key to the week for us is the Devil card. What is it that you know deep down in your heart that you need to let go of? What cycle or pattern do you go over and over again? What is it this week that you now need to give over? What is it that you now need to release? You've got a glimpse here, but there's something deeper. You know, the Horned One or the Devil card is always about what you say you're unconsciously sort of tied to, but you know you need to release. And your Devil card is saying this week you have a chance and an opportunity to do that. Make best use of it. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Reach out to each other, send comments, send emails. I'm here if you need to chat. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.